Greetings and welcome, everyone. It's All You Can Geek Moviecast, episode 639. I'm one of your hosts, Jim Gass, joined by Mike Sneedy.
Muted.
Didn't hear you. Corey Feinsod.
Hey yo.
And Tony Korkanakis.
Yo, 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 yo.
Yo. New haircut, Tony. Nice.
I said the same thing right before.
Fresh haircut.
I think it's just like I let them buzz the sides this time because of
Oh, yeah. Mike, you're unmuted now?
I was
Still
muted.
can't hear you. There you go. Oh, it's a delay. Your microphone needs to warm up, remember?
Yeah.
Welcome, listeners and viewers, to 639 of the Moviecast. It is 21st of March, guys. We are getting close to a pretty good release this week for John Wick. Exciting, but then also sad news, which I'd like to tie in real quick just to start the podcast, of the passing of I don't even have it open. Lance Reddick, thank you. Who plays? I mean, he was in so much stuff, but like he was in Destiny as a voice what was his character?
Zavala.
Yeah, Commander Zavala.
Yeah.
Iconic
voice.
Iconic voice, yes.
Kind of known for The Wire.
Yeah, he's just been in everything. I believe he's been in like NCIS. He's been in like all those. He's got that like presence,
Yeah,
he's
it's kind of
perfect
out of
for that.
nowhere.
Yeah.
Also, didn't hear anything like.
Yeah, I don't know what the cause was, but he was 60 years old. It's very sad, and so John Wick 4 will be his last film, I believe. So he's fantastic as the hotel manager, essentially.
Concierge.
Concierge. Yeah. So he's fantastic. I can't wait to see him at least one last time, but it's still sad and tragic to hear. So condolences to those that knew him, and So let's talk though. Like John Wick 4 is coming out this week. It looks great. The box office though last week, not so good, folks. Not so good. So Shazam did not come in with a fury. I will say that. It came in with a whimper. Did it even make 30 million? Because I think the adjusted is under.
Well, either way,
Excuse me.
it's lower than projected, which was projecting really low. So
Yeah, I mean, it was projecting for 35 million originally. And then they said their weekend haul it did 30.1 adjusted. Okay. So it cleared 30 million because there was a lot of people in the box office Reddit that were saying that it's not clearing 30. This was an overestimate. It made 30 million. I've heard it's not terrible, but I would say that the momentum is dead. I mean, there's multiple reasons why the momentum is dead. And part of that is obviously the new regime rebooting things and making that known that they're rebooting everything. So that kills a lot of that momentum. There's no question, right? I mean, that's it. But I think the other thing that hurts it is the news that we had, and I'm tying news together like crazy here, but the news that we had about The Rock just like blacklisting Shazam from anything presence-wise for Black Adam. Like you couldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole.
Yeah, I mean,
and
we reported on this, we talked about it, but now it's confirmed. I mean, what's his name? Zach Levi even like put it on his TikTok or Instagram or whatever. I was like, "Yep, truth will set you free," and it's like, "Oh shit, okay."
Yeah, I mean, it's
still silly because, like, again, Black Adam. Fine, if you want to try to make yourself the center of attention, sure, but then you have to lift up everybody else.
Yeah.
And you're not doing that.
Do you think
You're
Rock is
trying to,
capable of lifting up other people like that?
No, not like that. I mean,
Physically, he
that's what
could,
I'm saying.
but,
is
like,
that-
morally, emotionally, no.
But I'm just that's what if you want to be the face of this
I agree.
franchise / universe, that's what you need to do. You need to elevate. Like, I mean,
That's all The Rock is about,
obviously-
though. It's not his MO. You saw
But it's
Fast
what,
and
like,
Furious,
right, but that's what I mean. Like, that's what you get with with Tony Stark showing up in Spider-Man. Like, you bring him in there to elevate your characters, to tie things in. And so, like, the main like antagonist of Shazam, and you're not gonna bring in Shazam into this movie. It's just so weird.
Yep.
It's it was funny because the distance, I think I mentioned this in the podcast, the distance that they made of that movie. Like there was a woman with her son, like watching the movie with us when we were in it. And she even said, I think this is like supposed to be related to Shazam. Cause like, this looks like a very similar story. She leaned over and said that to her son. And I was like, oh yeah. But there was no attachment, you know what I mean? So it's like,
Can you imagine if, like, I don't know, like Venom showed up and was like, I don't want to fight Spider-Man. I want to fight Iron Man. It's like, what? Like, who are you? Like, you're nobody. You're a fucking nobody. You're
I
like
don't
a
think it was
C-list
Venom
villain.
they made that work because
Right, and at least Venom was like a really popular character in the 90s. I don't think
right.
Black Adam has ever been popular. I could be wrong, but
No,
Not
no,
to the extent that Venom was.
Yeah,
No
yeah.
way.
but I mean,
no
it's just
way.
like that's
And
the same premise. It's like, oh well, we're not going to put you up against the superhero
And we
nemesis
even
you're
talked
supposed
about
to be.
that too when they made the Venom movies. It's like this is weird. Why are we doing
Yeah,
this? Like your main villain to your hero is not going to be a part of it. How is this going to work? And then
yeah,
you have this. It's not like that was like contractual. Different studio, all this
yeah.
crazy like fighting and stuff. But here it's like you have the opportunity. Everything's right there for you, and you have a sequel that you can now tie in, and you can again lift up your franchises, bring everything together, and
The more I
you know.
think about it, like, I mean, look, I don't think one appearance or anything would have like saved the movie, but I honestly think that Black Adam should have been a co-star for Shazam 2. Like that should have been the
Mhm.
premise. Like bring him in. They could fight. Even you could have Black Adam winning if you want. So then the follow up would be Shazam tapping in Superman or whatever, because that's what The Rock wants to do. But you have a natural escalation there. There it's like what you
I
can
mean,
fight the Justice
you could have gone
Society.
crazy. You could have gone crazy with this and said, have the Black Adam movie, but then make Black Adam appearance in this movie as like a villain
Yeah, 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 yeah.
account.
Sure.
And
Tie it
even
in.
then, this is crazy. They could have even had Superman in this movie with those two and
Yeah.
made it like a really big
It,
extravaganza, but The
that's
Rock wanted no part of it.
No.
that's my thought. It was why not both? I think he was just so focused on getting Cavill's Superman that was like his negotiating tactic was him or nothing, and
Yeah, yeah. I
because of
mean,
that, he fucked everything else up.
see, I think a lot of this has to do, and this goes back to the Rock versus Vin Diesel. I remember shitting on Vin Diesel quite hard during that argument, and it was clearly both sides here. They're both very like I like the Rock, I
Egotistical.
do.
I
Yeah,
mean, they're
yeah,
alphas, and so they
sure.
clashing with each other.
And I do like The Rock a lot. And I like his movies. I like him. I like he's entertaining. However, there's no doubt in my mind he's got a huge ego. There's no doubt.
Absolutely. 100%.
Yeah,
This is, it's classic sort of pro wrestling politicking, and it's just in a different arena that we're noticing here, and because in pro wrestling, everyone's like they are their product.
yeah,
So even though it's as strange as it is, because you know the results are always fictional, they still don't ever want to look bad. They still want to win titles, even though it shouldn't matter at all. And
yeah.
it's kind of the same thing. He's carried that over into, Hollywood, which is a little bit hard to swallow, I think, for a lot of people, and it doesn't quite work.
No,
Seems either.
not all the
So,
time. It can work, but it doesn't work all the. You
yeah.
have to play nice at some point.
I mean, listen,
Um,
if Black Adam, as it was, was at least 100 million opening weekend type movie, maybe, but it didn't do it.
no.
And it's sort of, and at this point, everyone knows this universe is, well, either dead or up in the air to the point where you can't trust anything. So even if he showed up in this, it wouldn't have mattered
Yeah. I mean,
at all.
Yeah.
it's a number of factors, but I definitely think it's a string of like just this is obviously going to fail. It's like Black Adam being completely separated from Shazam, like that's a fail. Shazam 2 not having Black Adam in it, plus like the universe is rebooting, people know that. Plus, how many movies of DC's have bombed in a row? Like it's just a string
Yeah.
of failures. So it's just
Yeah, and trying to
Writing's on the
turn
wall.
Black Adam into something he's not is really also not
Yeah.
helpful.
right.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That's what it was, really. But yeah, so I mean, not a great opening weekend for Shazam.
No,
It
it's
won't make
awful.
100. It won't do
And it's worse than
200.
Mobius or
Yeah,
Morbius.
Morbius.
What's whatever that movie.
Yeah,
Morbius.
Morbius. Got it. But it won't make 200 million worldwide at this point. There's no chance. Complete and utter flop. And now there's a lot of blaming going on. There's a lot of finger pointing going on. And
apparently directors like quitting superhero movies now.
yeah, and the
Yep.
worst part is like it's not a terrible movie. It just and they had a good marketing ad. I saw a
I'm
lot,
sure
a lot
it's
of marketing
fine.
myself,
Yeah.
but
No,
it's
it's
just
like I said, it's a lame duck movie. You don't. There's no.
it'll be interesting. This
don't know what you're
conversation
getting.
we have to
Getting
rehab this
Flashpoint.
conversation though. Yeah, we have to when we have Flashpoint. Let's have this conversation again and talk about
We'll
success
have,
and not. So,
we'll have to see what happens with that movie. Obviously, they're trying so hard to make that not have this lame duck effect. You know,
I don't know how that's
the
possible.
Gunn himself keeps hyping it up, even though he's essentially destroyed every other movie by announcing his intentions. But this one, he's hyping up. They got
Yeah.
Tom Cruise for some reason saying it's a great movie. We don't know where he came from or why he's involved, but that's out there. So
I just don't see
we'll
how
see.
Yeah.
But
I just don't see how it happens.
I don't see it either. But
And the thing is,
Um,
I said they should have done this years ago, right? Right
Yeah,
after
well,
Justice League
everything
bombed.
should have been years
Right
ago.
after Justice League bombed. I was like, no, they need to fucking reboot this shit. Like,
Yep.
Batman
Yeah.
v Superman is like, okay, whatever. You know, it had a great box office week open, but then it just floundered. But then when Justice
And we
League
talked about it too with
happened-
Aquaman. Like, you have a $1 billion movie and you
Hey,
don't
like,
put out
yeah.
a sequel within like a period of time where people are still excited about it.
Yeah.
Like,
I
what
mean,
are
how
you
many
doing?
years has it been now? Like 5?
It feels like it was pre-COVID, right? So
it
it's
might
like,
be by now.
yeah,
By the time it comes out, it might be that long.
at
Yeah.
least.
They did have to write out like their second, the second lead or whatever
2018.
because
So yeah,
Yeah,
it'll
it's
be
5
because
years.
of
Yep.
yeah. Well, I think the Amber Heard thing sort of bit them with that as well.
Well, sure, but I mean, you could easily
Definitely.
just get her out of it.
They
Well,
don't. No one recasts anymore. Everyone just writes around characters now, so they had to probably redo a lot of what they were planning on.
There's a lot of there's some recasting here and there.
Not too often.
Harrison Ford. Is,
yeah. Well, that was.
Yeah, well, they were forced to. That person
Well, I
died.
mean, you could have said the same thing about T'Challa.
Well, they didn't recast him.
I know,
That's
but
what
I'm
I said.
saying you said
They're
they were
writing around
forced
it.
to because someone died, and it's the same scenario there with that.
Well, it's not like a main character either. It's
Okay. I'm just
Yeah,
saying,
a
like
different
there
thing.
are recastings here and there, but no, it's
They try to avoid it more now than they used to. That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. There's nothing more to talk about in the box office. This week's John Wick 4. So let's hope for something good. Let's
Reviews
get
are
into what
good.
we've been up to, you
I think
guys.
it's
Yeah,
um,
I can't wait.
fresh, certified fresh.
Mhm.
Yeah, I can't wait for it. I have to figure out when I can go see it actually soon. But I did buy my tickets for Mario. That was cool. I last night I was actually popping on last night to see when John Wick was playing because I have this whole week free. You know what I mean? Like I'm free this week. So I was like, well, maybe I can catch something earlier. And then I was like, what's crazy is I almost went and saw the Dungeons and Dragons movie just because I was like, I got
heard
nothing to
that
do.
was
I'm
actually
like, let me
really
go.
good.
I want to check it out. It looks fun. And but it's not actually playing until the end of the month. They had like an Amazon preview on Sunday, and I
Yeah.
couldn't go Sunday. Like
Yeah.
I could have gone any other day of the week, and I couldn't go Sunday.
Yep.
So I was like, damn it. But I bought my Mario tickets. Excited to go see that, and we'll see. But all right, let's like I said, get into what we've been up to, guys. What we've been watching. For me, it's only one thing.
Yeah, just Mando.
I'm sorry, two things. I watched Mando. I've been watching Dragon Ball though, like crazy, because there's like Ted Lasso's out. I want to watch that. There's a bunch of stuff out that I want
That's
to
what I
watch,
watched.
but like there's too many times now that I've made the commitment to get through and watch Dragon Ball Super forever. And so this time around, I'm like, nope, not gonna watch any of that because it'll just queue up and I'll watch it back to back to back at least. Ted Lasso, So you know, so I watched Mando. Of course, that's one of the exceptions. I will watch that week to week. What'd you guys think? Okay.
I
don't
didn't
know.
actually
So-
get to see it, so I just heard that it was a boring episode, but I didn't
Yeah,
get to see it.
this was a change gears episode, I would say. Best way to say it. So, but I don't know. It lets you see more of what the Republic was like, the New Republic.
Yeah, it kind
You
of
get
felt,
that.
like I'm not saying it was like Andor, but the shift mid definitely had more of like an Andor feel because it was like a lot of character building and world building, which I liked.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was like fully executed well, but I mean, it was better than
I agree. I agree.
whatever.
I didn't mind it. I thought it was nice to get into what's going on in Coruscant and the whole what the New Republic is about because all we saw of them was basically mentioning them in the new movies. So it's kind of interesting to see what they're doing, and it was an okay episode. Besides, not much happened. It was kind of boring. So, yeah. And Corey, anything for you?
Like I said, Ted Lasso. That's what I've been
Yeah.
watching.
How's the
It's
premiere?
good. Yeah, no, there's a couple episodes out now, right? So
Is it true? Okay.
yeah, it's more Ted Lasso. It's cool. I like to see. I'm very excited to see the storyline that they have with Nate and how that goes, and
Fuck
the
Nate.
different coaching styles,
Fuck
and
Nate. That little bitch. That little
yeah, and
bitch. I hope somebody
I
beats him up
like.
this season.
Well, it looks like he's getting a little bit. We'll see. We'll see what's going on there, but
Because
it's
usually
pretty interesting.
I expect some sort of redemption arc at some point for him. I don't know
Yeah,
why.
I
I
mean,
just
it's
yeah.
interesting because like how Ted Lasso approaches everything is with positivity,
Yeah.
and so he uses the power of positivity to circumvent some things in here and there. But it's interesting because like the way this episode opened, like the premiere anyway, opens is with him sending his kid back to America because he got to spend like the summer with him,
Mm.
and just having him having to deal with that loss, and then the boss lady's more like on this war path of like I have to beat the Rupert guy, and
Yeah.
so it seems like Ted Lasso's more kind of in his own headspace, and then she's in her own headspace, and then that clashes because she's more concerned that he's not focused on winning, and so it looks like this might be a little bit of some friction there
Conflict, yeah.
between the two. So
Okay.
yeah,
Cool.
good
Like I
stuff
said,
still.
I watched Super. Some 40 episodes in now, I think. I mean, Goku just lost in the tournament. Spoilers for those. Yeah, I so old. I'm not spoiling anything for people, but so that's where I'm at in there. But it's Dragon Ball. There's so many times where I laugh that I'm watching this show because, and I'm not gonna get into this that much. I'm sorry guys if I get too much, but it's Dragon Ball. So it's like you watch people yell at each other about their powers for like 3 episodes, and then they finally fight, and then it's 3 hours of them saying, "Well, I was hiding something,"
Yeah.
and that's the way it always works.
You're in the tournament, right? Like the
Yeah, the tournament.
What?
Yeah, Goku just lost to the Frieza knockoff or whatever his name is.
Oh,
The Frieza clone.
Oh.
Yeah,
Jiren?
the alternate, the Universe 6. No, the Universe 6.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Yeah, yeah. I know what you're talking about now.
He
Yeah,
just
yeah. The
the
broke ass
knockoff
Frieza.
Frieza.
Yeah.
The broke
Died
ass Frieza. Yeah.
yeah.
He was only going Super Saiyan. He lost. So I'm like, oh, something's up. But we'll see. I'm on the next episode now with Piccolo starting. But yeah, it's Dragon Ball. It's Dragon Ball. Nothing wrong. It looks great. Animation was so awesome. So much better than Z. So much better than Z.
Yeah.
So that's what's so cool about it. But that's it.
I mean, it
So Tony,
came a long way too, just because I don't know if you remember, like the first season of Super was awful. Like I don't know if you remember the meme screen caps were just like, who
I saw
drew
it.
this? Like,
Yeah, I mean, I watched it.
yeah.
I watched it. Yeah, so it's
Yeah.
like it went through it, and yeah, it was not good. It was funny because the movie came out, I think, before this, right? And it was like beautiful, and then they broke it out, and it was terrible. So, all right, Mike, what have you been watching?
The only thing I watched was I watched one episode of the latest season of Doom Patrol.
Okay.
We still haven't had the second half of that and Titans released yet, but yeah, just more of the same. Really, it's just a strange show. It's kind of like the vibes would be like James Gunn stuff mixed with Legion. So you have like stuff that's funny. Like for example, in this first episode, there's a throwaway villain named the Codpiece, which basically he just shoots lasers from like a dick-shaped thing on his belt, and they defeat him with Crazy Jane's one of her multiple personalities talks to him about how he's mad at his mother, and he goes to jail. So that's that's just kind of how the show works. Yeah, it's still funny, zany, really weird, sort of challenging almost to keep track of what's going on, and there's time travel, there's zombie butts at this point. Yeah,
Cool.
zombie butts. So we'll see
I don't know
how
what
that
that
goes.
is, but okay.
It's literally what it sounds like.
Okay.
Oh,
Interesting.
that's it. Just that.
All right. Just to mention, as you brought up that show, last week we said we are going to talk about the awards, and we never did. And I apologize for those that were, By the way, live streaming on Twitch Tuesday night starting at 8 o'clock. Just getting it in here now, unfortunately. So join us, please, live. Following days on YouTube. But yeah, so we didn't mention the awards. I would like to congratulate Michelle Yeoh and Brendan Fraser, because that's what brought this up, because he's in that Doom Patrol show. And I don't want to say his name wrong. How do you say Quan Yi? Yes, yeah. short round from Indiana Jones and Goonies, and yeah, I mean he's such a great actor. They all won their first awards, Oscars, and congratulations to all of them. And there was
Jamie Lee Curtis.
Jamie Lee Curtis as well. I'm sorry to Jamie Lee Curtis, even though I don't feel like she should have won it. Congratulations to her though. Either way, it is her first one. Yeah.
Angela Bassett.
So Angela Bassett did deserve that Oscar, in my opinion.
I think they all deserved it, but Angela, I felt like I would have given it to. Yeah.
Yeah, I think she deserved it more. And
listen, good, but
not taking away from
go for that movie.
Not taking away from Jamie Lee Curtis at all. Congratulations to her. She did a great job. But Angela Bassett was on another level last year. So yeah, but congratulations to those winners. Let's get into some other news though. Let's see what else we have here. I've got a couple of things. Back to DC real quick with James Gunn tweeting out last week that he is officially directing Superman Legacy. That wasn't announced before. We all assumed it, but he will be doing it, and it's coming out July 11th, 2025.
His dad's birthday, apparently.
Which is his dad's birthday.
Which you didn't know about.
Yeah, I find that
was a thing.
I find that bull. So, yeah, no, he tweeted that out, and on the same day that Zack Snyder. Oh man, the Zack Snyder bots are just insane. But as he tweeted something fun, that he was doing some Zack Snyder convention or whatever, but that caused an uproar that James Gunn stole his thunder in this. But I found that was just hilarious. I'm just like, people are just butthurt so badly. You just need to move on, people.
James Gunn stole his fucking job.
Yeah,
I think they'd be mad about that.
They could be, but yeah. So I'm looking forward to the Superman Legacy, see what he does on it. Like Mike said, he's got a unique style that makes it fun. So it could be interesting for Superman to see that way. You know what I mean?
I really don't see how that'll work with Superman, but we'll see.
Mike, we need something new with Superman.
Yeah, well, we need something new with Superman because there hasn't been anything that's come out with Superman other than a forced cameo for 2 seconds.
Hasn't been anything out with Superman that's worked. Let me rephrase. That's worked in the last.
That's debatable.
Is it?
Okay.
I don't think it is. At least since Man of Steel, they've all flopped.
I don't know what counts as a flop to you. I don't think BVS was really a flop.
That was a huge flop. How many times do we need to go over this? There's so many articles that BVS flopped. Justice League flopped. It's like not the worst.
Justice League may have, but BVS did not flop financially.
Okay.
I don't know. Anyways, so we'll see about that.
And Snyder Cut, it was a good Superman as well, I thought.
Snyder Cut was fine. There's nothing wrong with that. I don't disagree with you on that. What else do we have here? We've got Willow, unfortunately, will not be getting a second season, which I never even finished that because, I don't know, I just didn't, after I gave it 4 episodes and I just didn't get into it as much. I'm not saying I won't finish it, but maybe that's what happened to everybody else.
Maybe in 5 years after it comes out.
Yeah.
Go back and finish it.
You're not finishing it now, though.
Not getting into the season really hurts it even more. I won't go, you know what I mean? If they get I think the director came back saying that's not officially the way it's worded. They've been put on hold.
Yeah, but it's one of the things that you can't keep a whole production crew on hold. Like they'll go to other stuff. So it's like
they're gonna get other jobs.
The longer you wait, the harder it's gonna be to get that together. And this just makes sense. I mean, Disney, when Disney Plus was coming out, they just were throwing money at any project they could, any IP they could. And look, I enjoyed Willow as a kid. I'm not a super fan, but when they announced it, I was like, do I really want to go back to this universe? I mean, I personally didn't. It's like, oh, okay, if it's good, I'll watch it, but I had no desire to. And now, they're tightening up their wallet. And...
Yeah, I mean, Bob Iger's trying to cut $3 billion in costs, roughly, right? That's what they're saying. So, yeah, I mean, that's part of it right there. $3 billion in costs. I mean, there's looking like 7,000 jobs. I mean, it looks like they're cutting massively. So, but all right. What else we have? Netflix Gears of War movie is tapping Dune and Doctor Strange writer John Spates.
It's weird because this movie or project was announced, I feel like, ages ago.
Yeah.
Pre-COVID again. So
yeah, this is
finally getting somebody to write it.
It's interesting, and this is something that I'm more interested in now that we've seen successful video game adaptations.
We've seen successful video game adaptations here and there. It's not like.
Well, I'm saying we're at the peak, man. We are. we're
Made it.
roaring.
You've also had, see, when I think of Gears, I think of Halo, and that's the adaptation I think of would be most
Yeah.
similar to this. So
No, man,
that's
don't
the
don't let it
opposite.
go. Don't think that. Don't think
Well,
that.
I mean,
Don't put
that's
that on
kind
me.
of
Is
the most
Don't put that
similar
hate.
thing.
Did
Don't put
Halo
that hate.
get a second season?
I don't
I
even
don't,
know.
I
I
don't
don't
know.
even know. I assume it will just because it's Halo, but that's it. Oh, it's bad. It's so bad. Don't watch it, please. I only watched one episode. I just can't. I can't. But Gears of War is being done for another studio by Netflix instead of Showtime. Is that where? Or
I
is that on
don't remember.
Paramount? Is that on Paramount? I don't even
Paramount.
remember.
I think it was, yeah. Yeah.
This is excuse me. This is being done by Netflix, and like I said, we're in like the glory days, guys. Let's just bask in the fact that we have this great video game content flowing right now, and let's keep it positive. Let's. I think they can do it. I think they can give us something great.
Netflix?
Well,
Oh man.
I don't see
Not
it.
after Resident Evil.
Come on, folks.
Not after
Come
Resident
on.
Evil.
Not for
Resident Evil.
Gears. I don't see it.
Yeah,
Come
the only thing I
on.
will say is he adapted Dune really well, so maybe he can adapt
Oh,
something else
okay,
better.
well. Okay,
Yeah, he did.
that's better. That's better.
Yeah, no, the writer is a good writer, so that's what was that? That was weird. The writer's a good writer, and yeah, so
Yeah,
I got
no,
through.
I mean there's some hope. We'll see. I'm not holding my breath for anything positive though.
Yeah, yeah. All right, all
I don't
right.
care about Gears.
I think that's it on the news. Let me see here. Let me double check. Don't think we have anything else. Nope. That would do it actually this week, I think it looks like. So that's gonna wrap it up, folks. Thanks for tuning into the Moviecast. Once again, we are live on Twitch Tuesday nights, so please join us. You can ask us questions on the air. YouTube, if you're watching this on YouTube, hit that subscribe button, smash that subscribe button, the like button, give us a little thumbs up, leave us a comment there. It always helps us keep the lights on, right? So thanks everybody. I don't even know, but thanks for watching and listening. If you're listening to us on the audio version, thank you everybody. We'll see you guys on the Gamecast. We are out.